I connect with wild places by being out there for as long as possible. To travel alone is a very important part for me because there's nobody to distract me, so I can focus on the stories that are just in front of me. My name is Olivia Hickey and I'm a wilderness jeweller. I've always been an adventurer from an early age. I can't remember a time that I didn't like being in the outdoors. I've got quite a restless spirit and I spent about 8 years travelling with a pack around the world in numerous countries. I am completely comfortable in wild places on my own, to the level that I've done a 110-day walk through the South Island of New Zealand. I got to the end of that walk and all I wanted to do was keep my pack on my back and turn around and walk back to where I started from. When I'm alone and walking on country, I see and hear and feel a number of stories that are surrounding me. Everywhere I look and everywhere I touch and everything I hear is speaking to me. I'm seeing plants in existence that have been existing on this world from before the first flowering plants. I hear the conversations of the early explorers wondering how to get through areas and the traditional owners who have been here forever. For me, I was so excited when I discovered that I could combine my love of being in the outdoors and a passion about creating, and how I could put them both together to create things that I can then share with other people. My working process is always about trying to capture direct impressions of the landscape. I'll use wax or silicone to mould objects or textures or leaves for jewellery making. I'll use paper and charcoal to capture textures from trees, and I'll use my camera to record the landscape that I'm in. Oh, that one's interesting. It's a subtle pattern, it's a subtle texture. It's got some variation and some different heights in them. Every now and then I'll find something that I just need to stop and try and mould and capture so I can bring it home. It is absolutely essential for me to do all of my moulding in place. I refuse to think that I am worthy enough to be able to remove things from place, because I like to travel through landscape, not leaving a trace of my passing. I find myself absolutely transfixed and captivated by a single leaf or a tree, and I can stay there for hours. I capture celery top pine that gets turned into pendants. I capture myrtle that gets turned into rings. I capture pencil pine that gets turned into earrings and pendants. This is the mother shield fern that I moulded in a tarkine and then used to make this earring. All of the environments that I respond to I choose very carefully because they're all vulnerable landscapes, and within my lifetime they might not exist anymore. I believe really passionately and wholeheartedly that my work is important to teach people and help them connect to places in order that they can care about it. After I've taken the moulds and rubbings in the outdoors, I'll bring them home and into my studio, and there I turn them into talismans. I do these by a multitude of silversmithing skills and techniques. Once it's moulded, it'll take me between 4 and 6 weeks to have a finished piece of jewellery. My hope is that when a wearer touches the pieces that I make, that they are reminded of the place that they've come from. So when they touch them, they're transported back to the mountains or the rainforests or by the rivers. All of my work comes from a really, really strong drive of absolutely loving all of the wild places that I respond to. For me, the vulnerable places on, this island and other islands with similar history fill me with absolute wonder. I will spend the rest of my life trying to encode and mould and create tangible talismans of place for future generations.